Hello everybody. Welcome to your weekly messages for May 31st to June 6th. June 6th. I almost skipped a month. Okay, so I don't even know what to say right now about the fact that we're about to be in June, but I hope you're all doing well. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure that you leave a thumbs up and a comment if anything resonates with you. This is good for all signs. And yeah, if you'd like more info on working with me and checking out what I have to offer, go to onyxhealing.com and also check out my Instagram because I'm also doing a bunch of good stuff on there. And without further ado, let's start with some oracle cards this week for everybody. Let's see, what do we need to know? What's going to be most supportive to all of you who are watching? Starseed, what lights you up? What lights you up as what inspires you? What drives you? What tugs at your natural desires? And this is something that is worth pursuing. If something is really impactful in your life or you feel really pulled into new areas of exploration, pay attention to those nudges, pay attention to those feelings that are coming up. And then what else do we have? The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Okay. So when things get scary, or when things become really uncertain, this is the time to really put energy behind faith. Because let me tell you, if things never felt scary or unknown, or if there was never any friction, you would not grow, you would not learn, and you would not even need faith. You would just be kind of cruising through life on a pink cloud, and you would be bored out of your mind. I can promise you that. So the experience here that's being had is more about whatever edge you're leaning into, whatever cliff you're kind of on the verge of jumping off, or transition you're in the middle of, whatever that may be. It's an opportunity to really lean into practicing active manifestation, practicing faith, leaning into more of the energetic pieces, which is what I think a lot of you are wanting to master. If you're watching a video like this, I mean, there's an element of wanting to peek around the corner. I think that's a normal human thing for us to desire. But at the same time, the faith is where the magic really happens, because if you don't know how the end of the story turns out, that's actually what can really breed the excitement and the wonder of life. So, sorry, it's cheesy. Yes, I know, okay? But that really is where all of the good stuff lives. And then what else? What else do you need to know? Resources, the time has come to look outside yourself. Trust that all you need to make it possible is on its way to you. Lay the bricks that will create the path to your destination. Now, one thing that I want to mention here about this second point, trust all you need to make it possible is on its way to you. A lot of the time, if we're focusing on manifestation and we get too rigid around numbers or data or whatever the case may be, it can really trip us up and make us contract into scarcity if you're overemphasizing the material. So you have to remind yourself that the faith and the unknown piece is basically the entrance for all of the resources. So if you're already saying it's impossible, it's not going to happen, there's no way, no, that's the equivalent of you closing doors on yourself. So do your best to remind your ego, to remind your shadow self, or whichever part is discouraging you, that now is the time to open doors, now is the time to lean into possibilities, now is the time to remind yourself of the infinite that we have access to. And remember, it doesn't have to be logical or make sense. If you're thinking things need to make sense, again, that's the equivalent of slamming a door in the face of a miracle. So let's see. Six of Chalices. This is a really yummy, seductive soulmate card. At least in this deck, there's a lot of sensuality that lives in this energy. And you guys know I do body-based work. So the body is the vessel, the embodiment of the desires of the relationship or the money or the new job or the healing and the transformation. The vessel that you're carrying around in this life is really where you want to go with the work that you're doing. The mind is going to trip you up. Go back into the body. Let that be what you're caring for, what you're listening to, what you're paying attention to, and it can help with your compass overall. So the Six of Chalices is reminding you of that. And it's also, I'm getting that there's important things happening in relationships, because this is a relationship card in many ways, but it's more of the karmic divine element of relationships. So pay attention to either the information you get in your relationships, the new relationships that make an appearance. Just pay attention to them. Notice what's happening, for good and bad, whatever that is. 10 of Pentacles. There's a lot being built. The 10 of Pentacles, in some capacity, yes, there's a picture of like the happy family, but this is also about foundation, stability, long-term goals. This is like building the legacy out, is the energy behind this. And it's a lot of flourishing energy that's coming up here. You can see with all of the plants and the flowers and the trees and the growth that's happening. So you might find that long-term plans are actually starting to make more sense now, or that's something you're seeing much more clearly. Let's see what's going on internally for you. 10 of Swords. So this is perfect. And I know people groan whenever I say that about a quote-unquote bad card. But the reason why I'm saying this is that it's like, in order for you to get here, you have to walk through the fire here. In order for the foundation to be really stable, you really do have to evolve. You can't expect to step into this 10 of Pentacles with old methods, old mindsets, old habits, old relationships. So you really have to pay close attention to, what are the things that I'm shedding? What ways of being need to go? Because there's going to be a lot of stuff where it's like you can't continue doing what you're doing in the capacity that you have been. So you're going to have to suck it up. And I hate to say that, but with the 10 of Swords, it's like, you know what's got to go. You know what needs to shift out. You know what doesn't work for you. This isn't something you're discovering. You already know what this is. And that's why it's sitting in this position, because it's asking you to move that out already. Because there's also some fussiness and impatience. It's like you have the answer. You don't need to sit and ponder it again. You need to actually execute on what it is that you know is right for you. So it's like, quit dilly-dallying, quit like asking yourself if it's right or wrong. You know it in your bones, unless you're dissociating and not paying attention to your body. If you're not paying attention to your body, then your compass is going to be off, which is why the 6 of Cups is sitting at the center of the reading. It's inviting you to get back into the body. And then I'm going to clarify the 10 of Swords. What is this regarding? We have the Moon. Yeah, you're going to have to get out of your mental body. Because the Moon is like, yes, things are veiled right now. It might seem like you're turning a blind corner. Yes, yes, yes. I completely understand the nerves and anxiety that can come up with that. In the same breath, you're going to have to flow with the current of what you feel is right for you in the moment. If you're trying to anticipate every single move, it's just going to take you out of alignment. And that's not going to work for long-term satisfaction and fulfillment. You have to be present with yourself in order to see Where do I want to go? Instead of looking at your future as if you're going to be a victim of circumstance, look at your future with a clear intention of what is that 10 of Pentacles, a vision for yourself, and act in alignment with that, not just trying to avoid pain every step of the way, because we know that's simply not possible. Avoiding discomfort is not possible. So there's a major growing pain happening here, but embodiment and vision are what's driving you and pulling you forward. So pay attention. If you know something is bad for you, you need to act on that now. Now let's see what's moving out for you. We have the World. This is chaos. This is also uncertainty. This is just kind of like the eye of the storm. I'm getting that this is more of a peaceful time, a peaceful week. This looks like stress to me, particularly. I mean, look at all that. Look at all that action going on. It's just an absolute storm. So that is what's moving out. I think the stress of that is shifting out. Let's see what's oncoming for you. Knight of Swords. So you're jumping, you're facing it head on. Again, that's your choice whether or not you do that. But it's like the opportunity for you to just confront it, do it, leaning into faith, trusting that what is meant for you will stick to you. Your alignment and your purpose and the things that light you up are not going to steer you wrong. Staying in a cycle of pain will absolutely steer you wrong. Alignment, embodiment, and being clear on what is it that really pulls your soul forward, what is your soul begging for, that's going to be the thing that delivers the 10 of Pentacles. And remember, it can't come from the space of desperation and need and pain. I want to be clear. That is not soul growth. That's living out the cycle of pain. So you have to evolve out of that in order for things to get better. It's kind of like the celebration gratitude frequency is already embodied and aligned, whereas desperation is disembodied and totally fear-based. Okay, now let's look at this 3-card pick that we're going to do. So ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, whatever it is that you need. Pause the video if you need more time. Card number 1, 6 of Pentacles. Okay. Consider the energy that you're feeding the plant. So whether that be thoughts, words, actions, like what are you saying when you're in a conversation about the situation? What are you feeding it? And if you look at the things that you're creating in this life or the direction that you're moving, if you look at it from the lens of I'm feeding it energy, that's where you want to do an audit. Same thing goes for the relationships in your life. You want to audit what is the energy that I'm giving and what am I getting reflected back to me in this connection. It's a good time to do some investigating there. And then we have Temperance. So this is balance, equilibrium, harmony. Things are flowing. I'm getting that it's like you don't actually have to fight or scrap or make any radical changes. If you're feeling like things have been going well, allow them to continue going well. Just say, oh, I like this. Yes, more please. Thank you. I'm in absolute bliss with the way things are going. So even if you recognize some little tweaks, or maybe the 10 of Swords is more of habits or a way that you're starting your day or something more minor, it's like allow those things to naturally fall away and ask your higher self, the next level of yourself, what that version of you would do in the present moment and build off of that, because it's like the harmony that you're finding yourself in is really ebbing and flowing just in this really beautiful way. So whatever circumstance, relationship, or or thing you're dealing with, it's like keep going in the way that you are and trust your higher self or your next level version to give you the right input and guidance. And then card number 3, we have the Magician. Again, step away from focusing on circumstances, which I know sounds crazy, but it's like you have to look away from the problem in order to solve it, in order to create. Because a lot of the time, if you look at a pain point for too long, you'll get trapped in this idea of I'm stuck, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, I'm not able to navigate this. And it's just going to throw you into disempowerment. This is inviting you to flip the script, shift into empowerment, trust yourself to create the things that you need, trust your ability to create the resources, create the time, create the energy, create the money, or I mean, whatever that resource is for you. You're a creative being. You have that seed within you. Lean into that more, trust that more within yourself, and know that that's going to be the most helpful thing for you at this time. Like you don't have to wait, or there's no perfect time to create. It's like you have to get into that embodied state and shift out of anything that really isn't helping you. And that's the practice, is getting into that over and over again. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you more than you could possibly know. Do not forget to subscribe. Check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. Go take a look at my website. Lots of good stuff. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.